We have Modampi here.
We do. This is Modampi.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of weeds around here. Oh my God. Okay, so, well, we can start in this bed.
Okay.
Kind of out of order. I was going to go over there, but that's all right.
Okay.
This is baibu. Now, this is one type of baibu. We have another species over there. I'll show you.
Okay.
This is a southern species called Stemona tuberosa. And baibu is good for, you probably, well, maybe you don't remember, I don't know. It's a good herb for cough. It moistens, and so it's good for dry coughs particularly. And it can be used for cold or heat patterns. And it also is used externally for lice, things like that. Little bad guys on your skin.
Okay. Baibu, you said?
Baibu.
Baibu.
Yeah, there's another species, it's a vine. And there's another species that's over here, if we can... God, it's such a mess here. Oh, well, we'll go over it and see it in a minute. I'll do that. But this is called Lao Guansao. It's a geranium. We got too much of that, too. And it's a clear heat toxin herb. And used for sores, abscesses, ulcers, swollen sore throat, that kind of thing.
What's the name of?
Lao Guansao. It's Geranium wilfortii.
Okay.
And this is Imutsao. And that's a blood mover. It's Leonurus heterophilus. And it's a blood mover, and it's used for blood stagnation patterns and masses and tumors and gynecological blood stagnation patterns and trauma. And it's also used for, can be used too for edema with difficult urination. And let's see, we should go over this way. We can get around. There's so much that needs to be taken out of here. This is a type of Shuduan. It's kind of a secondary species. It's Dipsacus chinensis. And Shuduan.
Is this a Shuduan, really?
What's that?
Shuduan?
Shuduan. Yeah, the yang tonic. And it tonifies the kidney and liver, strengthens the bones and tendons, calms the fetus, moves blood for some blood stagnation issues. Good for general kidney yang deficiency patterns.
Okay.
All right, thanks a lot.
Okay.
Here's more Modampi. Now let me see if I can find that other baibu here. Oh my God. Terrible. Can't see anything.
The weeds grow over really fast.
Well, this is Imutsao. It's become a weed. Oh, here it is. So here's some more baibu. This is Stemona japonica, a different species from the southern baibu that I showed you over there. And you can see it's also a vine. It's trying to climb up the Imutsao.
Okay.
And one of the things that's neat about this as a plant is it has green flowers. This is kind of unusual in the plant world. And there's not a lot of things that have large. It has a fairly good sized green flower. I mean, some weeds have these very tiny little greenish flowers, but this one has a kind of neat green and purple flower color. It's kind of pretty. Anyways, that's still another species of baibu. This is Tu Ren Shen, and that's a mild chi tonic. It's a Talinum paniculatum.
Chi tonic? What's the name of this again?
Tu Ren Shen. It means common or kind of crude Ren Shen. It's not really Ren Shen.
Oh, okay.
And there's a Qian Hu in here. Poor Qian Hu is trying to survive. I don't know. There it is. There it is. This is the white-flowered form of the purple-flowered Qian Hu, which in Chinese is Baihua, what is it? Baihua Bian, Zihua Qian Hu Baihua Bian Zhong. Anyways, it's used for coughs, and it's cooling, and it's used particularly for phlegm heat, but can be used. It's good particularly when there's a lot of phlegm, but it can be used with other herbs, obviously, for phlegm cold patterns too.
All right.
And let me see. Let's go down here. This is a minor forest now. It's this is American Phytolacca. It's Phytolacca americana, and it's Shang Lu. It's a harsh expellant, and it's used for clearing out like damp and phlegm, congestion in the chest and abdomen, and it's toxic. So it's kind of a nasty herb, which is why they call it a harsh expellant.
Oh, okay.
And it's become unbelievably big. I can't fathom how it's gotten so big.
So which part do we use for this? Root.
We use a root.
Oh.
And you can see the Chinese or Asian species is over here, and it's actually forming seed. Oh, we'll get through this forest of stuff. Right here is its small Asian cousin.
Yeah, I was wondering what these are.
Yeah, and in fact, I'm going to collect some of these seeds because they're great to give away to other gardens.
Mm-hmm.
Other schools might use them. But this is the Chinese Shanglu.
Mm-hmm.
This is Phytolacca. I can't even remember the species name. Anyways, this is that one over there is the American one, and this is the Asian one. I don't know. I can't remember. This is Mimeng Hua, and that's used. It's Buddleia officinalis, and it's used for wind heat with the eyes and liver wind heat rising up, and headaches, so temples, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they use the flowers for that.
Oh, okay.
And the Mimeng Hua we usually get here is actually not the correct one. It's a substitute or really adulterant. So this is the real stuff.
Oh.
It's not flowering right now, but it will again eventually. Flowers more in the wintertime. It's the southern species.
Mm.
Okay. Let's go down to the end and start from there and work our way down that way.
Oh, good.
Oh, this is flowering. Oh, that's what Ingrid was talking about. The Aurelia, the Duhuo. Okay. And so the Fong Fong's flowering too. Wow. That's nice. Yes. Need a shovel. So, well, let's talk about a couple things here. So this is Chuan Lienza, the tree, and it's going to get big, fast-growing tree. Chuan Lienza, they use the fruit, and it's a great herb for regulating the qi, used for parasites too, treating some types of parasites, used for damp heat as well. It's a bit toxic. And then we got Fong Fong, and that's a wind, cold, acrid, warm herb for treating wind cold.
This one?
Yep. It's flowering nicely. Hopefully we'll get some good seed. And it's used very nicely for wind anywhere in the body, and it can be used for wind in the intestines. It can be used for tremors and wind in the channels. And I use it also for sinus problems and sinus congestion and headaches. And it harmonizes wood and earth, so it's a good herb. Use the root. And as I said, this is Aurelia cordata. This was the other Duhuo I was mentioning about. This in a totally different family from the Angelicas that we were looking at in the Lath House. And again, Duhuo, you know Duhuo now, so wind damp, cold.
Okay. But they do have same functions.
Yeah.
Even though they are slightly
it's just not considered to be as effective as the primary, but it's still a good plant to use for that purpose.
I see.
And that's Shugan. Clear heat toxin herb. Use the root. Great for particularly for throat problems with phlegm, and sore throats and toxic sores, ulcers, things of that nature. Toxic sore throats.
Okay, the name again?
Shogun, Bellum conda. And there you can see is Chuchienza and Chuchiensao. The plant is Chuchiensao. The seeds are Chuchienza. We've got more of it right here coming up. And that's, the seeds is a drain damp herb, and it's good for damp heat in the lower burner. It's good for also helping solidify the stools when there's loose stools and associated damp heat. It helps get the damp heat out of the urination. And it's also good for the eyes and heat in the liver channel, that kind of thing. The whole plant's clear heat toxin herb, and you can use it internally and externally for toxic heat patterns. And then we've got Shengdi that's over there. Should probably go around maybe that way. So there's the Shengdi that's right here, and that's of course in a raw form it's used for clearing heat and cooling the blood, and good for yin deficiency, for liver and kidney yin deficiency, and it also is calming for irritability and restlessness for the heart, and good for kidney and liver yin deficiency, as I said, and yeah, it cools blood for bleeding problems when there's heat in the blood. And the root's used. When it's treated and processed with honey, then it ends up being Shu Di Huang, and then it's used for tonifying the blood and tonifying liver and kidney yin, and help with tonify essence as well. And then that's Diyu, and the root is used of that, and that's a stop bleeding herb, and it's good particularly for the lower burner, bleeding in the lower burner, whether it's with the urination or with stools or vaginally. And it's also used for helping with generating some flesh too when it's used externally. And it's good apparently when it's raw and fresh, and you can make like a salve or ointment out of it that's really good, I think, for eczema. And then this is Xuanshen, which is a clear heat, cool blood herb, and it's good for clearing warm heat patterns where there's fever and maybe a real red tongue, purple red tongue, and there's heat, maybe bleeding that's also being caused by the heat in the blood or in the yin level. And it's good for the constipation or irritability that may come as a result of damage to the fluids from the warm heat pathogens that occur. And it's also used, it's a salty herb, one of the few salty plants, and so it's used for nodules and throat swellings and glandular swellings and what used to be called scrofula for like tubercular swellings, that kind of thing.
Okay. We use the roots?
We use the root.
Okay.
Yeah. And then over here in this pot, that's Nugenza. And that's, the fruit is used from it's a tree, though it can be grown like a shrub. And that one is the tonify yin herb for liver and kidney yin, and good for the eyes too, and general sort of liver kidney yin deficiency patterns. And it's neutral, so it can be used for heat or cold patients. And we should probably go that way.
Okay.
This is another Mimeng Hua. Again, it's not flowering right now. That's that Buddleia, good for the eyes and the liver wind heat. And that's Yeju Hua, Chrysanthemum indicum. And that's, the flowers are used, and it's good for toxic heat. And it can be used for typically for, you know, typical toxic heat patterns as well as liver heat. Some liver heat issues too that affect like the eyes and the head. And then this is regular Juhua, the Bai Juhua, and the flowers are used for that. And it's of course good for wind heat patterns externally, and liver heat that's rising up and affecting the eyes and the head with headaches and irritability and red face and so on. And can be used for liver wind and liver fire rising. And oh wow, it's got a little fruit on it. Boy, and I mean a little fruit. Hopefully it gets bigger, but I don't know. I don't think so. This is a type of shanjia that's a wild shanjia from southwestern China, but it looks like there's the fruit's so small I wouldn't think I would even use it for eating. Forget about medicine. Maybe it could be okay, I don't know. It's such a tiny little thing. But shanjia is a food stagnation herb. We have bigger fruit on there's a shanjia plant that's the medicinal cultivar that's used back here. This poor thing keeps on getting too little water, and so the leaves are not happy. But you can see the fruit on there. That's the way the fruit should look, size-wise.
Okay.
And it's for food stagnation, and particularly when there's greasy foods or meat and heavy foods that are eaten. And it's also for helping circulate blood. It has some blood-moving benefits for gynecological problems, and also it's good for the heart and the chest. It's used in Western herbal medicine for high cholesterol and hypertension, and for congestion in the chest with circulation.
Do you use the fruits?
Use the fruit. Okay. When they're red and ripe. We also have some Xuan in here.